I'm totally lost in chemistry right now. Do you get this?
Yeah, I do.
So explain to me, how do I predict and write chemical formulas?
First, you have to understand the octet rule. All elements want to have 8 electrons. Elements will gain or lose electrons, and this determines charge or oxidation state.
Ooh. Well, how is this charge determined?
When an element loses electrons, it's a positive charge. When an element gains electrons, it's a negative charge. You need to understand charge to write chemical formulas. When two elements have opposite charges, they bond because of an electrostatic attraction. But it's not always that easy. When two elements don't have a 1-to-1 ratio, you have to cross charges.
Why?
The rule is that atoms must always combine in a ratio that results in an overall charge of 0.
So how do you cross charges?
It's simple. Just take the charge of each element and place it as the subscript for the other. Here's an example. Mg has a charge of positive 2, and Cl has a charge of negative 1. So, taking just the numbers, I place a subscript of 1 for Mg and a subscript of 2 for Cl. This results in the formula MgCl2. But there's a few more rules still.
Oh, great.
So transition metals have multiple valence shells. This means it is impossible to write a formula with a transition metal unless the valence state is given. To indicate that exact state, add Roman numerals to the end of the element's name. Then cross charges like you normally would.
Now, is that all?
There's still one more thing we have to go over. Formulas with polyatomic ions.
Well, first of all, what is a polyatomic ion?
A polyatomic ion is a group of usually covalently bonded atoms that have a charge. You can find them on Table E. So when a polyatomic ion doesn't bond in a 1-to-1 ratio, parentheses are needed. Copper 2 and nitrate have a formula of CuNO2, 2. NO2 does not become NO4 because that would be changing the ion. And we use parentheses so you don't get confused and think it's NO22.
Why is it so important to know the amount of substances in a formula anyway?
It's kind of like building a house. You need to know what materials you need, how many materials you need, and need to know how to build the house. When you have all of this, you can build the perfect house. When you don't have all of this, you won't be able to build anything at all or build the house that you want.
I guess it's pretty important. Thanks for explaining it to me.
No problem.